It won't be like any other fight that he's fought recently, and it'd be a well fought fight for both of us. I believe.
Any doubt in your mind that you beat him?
Of course, I beat him. It ain't no doubt in my mind that I won't beat anybody else.
Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez have officially started their back and forth in the build-up to their highly anticipated mega fight set for late 2025. The two met in Saudi Arabia to go over the fight details with Turki Alalshik, who has shown consistent interest in making this bout happen. After their respective matches, Crawford and Canelo held a brief press conference, where members of the media sat down with them to discuss the potential showdown.
You on the internet with Turki Alalshik calling you out. What's your response to Terence Crawford's call out tonight?
No comment.
At first, many reporters were delighted when Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford both confirmed that their fight would take place in late 2025. Although the conversation began calmly, the peaceful tone quickly turned tense when Canelo was asked who he thought would win. Naturally, no one expected him to pick Crawford, but it was the way he responded that seemed to anger Crawford. Canelo said, "I beat Crawford easily. It's easy money for me to end his career."
The type of fight Terence Crawford is different. 168, but like I say,
Crawford took offense and called Canelo a proud dog, making a bold promise to humble him. He said, "I'll bring you to your knees, proud dog. You're not ready for what's coming, it's nothing like you've faced before." The exchange quickly turned more personal and offensive, making it clear that the unofficial press meeting had run its course. However, before tensions rose, both Canelo Alvarez and Crawford expressed excitement about the matchup and committed to making it happen. According to Canelo, he was always ready for the fight as long as the money was right, while Crawford seemed less certain about the financial terms.
There's loads of things going around at the moment, including a big clash with Canelo Alvarez. Can you tell us what's going on in that situation, and can that happen next?
We shall see.
He just wanted to test himself in the ring against the best, hoping to come out victorious despite the size disadvantage. Hall of Fame fighter, current promoter, trainer, and respected analyst Roy Jones Jr. shared scenarios where he believes both Terence Crawford and David Benavidez could beat Alvarez. He started with Benavidez, saying, "It's a tough fight to call because Benavidez throws a lot of punches. Sometimes power can intervene and change everything," Jones said in an interview with BoxingScene.com.
Big for Crawford, I'm not sure about that because Crawford does have punching power and shock, but I think Canelo's a little big. He showed tonight that he's pretty big, so I probably would rather see.
The problem is Canelo willing to take the risk? I don't think he will right now because he probably doesn't feel he has a reason to. If he can't hurt Benavidez in the first 3 or 4 rounds, I don't see him winning that fight. Two-time 168-pound titleist Benavidez has been pushing hard for a shot at Alvarez for the past 2 years. Formerly recognized as the best welterweight in the world, Crawford is open to moving up 2 weight classes for a chance to face the Mexican star. Alvarez, however, insists that a win over Crawford wouldn't do much for his legacy, even though many believe Crawford has a real shot at beating him.
Charlo fight Crawford first, and then see how that goes. And if he does good against Charlo with the weight, then let's see him come up and fight Canelo. Yes, but not right now. I want to see him.
If anybody can do it and pull it off, it's Crawford, so you can't tell him no, said Jones. I was the kind of guy that if someone said they were better than me, and if I could get close to their weight, I was coming. I gave up 33 pounds when I beat John Ruiz for the heavyweight title in 2003. I didn't care, I wanted to prove I was the pound-for-pound best and do something historic that had never been done. That's probably how Bud feels right now. He wants to do something historic to cement his legacy in boxing. Who wouldn't want to see the pound-for-pound best from yesterday fight the pound-for-pound best from today? It's a mega fight. If he adds the muscle and weight the right way, how can you doubt him? One thing's certain, he's not stepping in just for a paycheck. He's going in there to win, because that's who Bud is. If he carries the weight well, it'll be a great fight. He can box like Floyd Mayweather, and he can fight too. He hits and doesn't get hit. If he can take the punch at that weight, he might just win the fight.
Crawford come up with some weight classes and show he can be dominant at 54. You
What do you
understand
think
me?
that fight will go, Crawford and
Crawford won a pound best fighter.
Jones, who moved across weight classes throughout the latter part of his career as a 4-division title holder, believes Alvarez should stick to super middleweight moving forward. It's definitely best that Alvarez stays at 168. I didn't understand why he went up to 175 to fight Dmitry Bivol anyway, said Jones. He had already beaten Sergey Kovalev, who was at the end of his career. Bivol was in his prime, they're two different animals. He got the crusher at the right time. Go back down and dominate where you belong. Don't try to fight another one, because lightning isn't going to strike twice. Meanwhile, former two-weight world champion Andre Ward has also shared his thoughts on the potential super fight between Saul, Canelo, Alvarez and Terence Crawford.
I can bet the house on is Bud. Because me and him, we so much alike in our mentality. Like soon as I see this dude,
Bud has been targeting Canelo ever since delivering a career-defining performance last year against welterweight rival Errol Spence Jr. Although Canelo initially dismissed the idea, he recently admitted he'd be willing to defend his super middleweight titles against the naturally smaller Crawford, if the money was right. Speaking on the All the Smoke podcast, Andre Ward, who retired undefeated with a record of 32 wins, named the two matchups he most wants to see in boxing. I want to see Canelo fight Terence Crawford or David Benavidez. You've got two options: go up against someone in your weight class, or try to pick on the smaller guy, Terence Crawford.
We so much alike in our mentality. Like soon as I see this dude, he come in the room, or I come in the room, we start arguing about basketball.
On the potential Crawford-Canelo clash, Andre Ward said his money would be on the man who last fought 3 weight classes lower. I'm not betting against Terence right now, against anybody. Not doing it. Speaking on the most skilled fighters in the game today, Ward said Crawford is someone you can bet your house on. Somebody I can bet the house on is Bud. Me and him are so much alike in our mentality. He's skillful, yes, but his heart and mind are different. There's not a lot of guys like that out there right now. There are a lot of guys who talk it, but until you're in a real fight, not a guy you're supposed to beat, but a true 50-50 matchup, we don't really know what you've got.
Wrestling, anything, bro. Like, man, you can't, man, you looking small. What you mean I'm looking small? You looking small. Like, it's just that, like, you gotta really hurt that dude.
He's different. He's a dog. That's the kind of stuff that gets me out of my seat. It means when you need to be that guy, you can be that guy. Shakur Stevenson, who often refers to Terence Crawford as his big brother, also believes Crawford would beat Canelo Alvarez if they ever fought, despite the 14-pound weight disadvantage against the Mexican superstar. Unlike Jermall Charlo, Canelo has shown little interest in fighting Crawford, mainly due to the size difference. But Stevenson doesn't see that as an issue for the pound-for-pound king. The former two-weight world champion says skills win fights, not size, and believes Bud has the tools, including his southpaw stance, slick movement, and strong fundamentals, to give Canelo serious problems.
Size win fights, I think skills do so. Yeah, I think like being a southpaw with good movement and sharp boxing, it'd be hard for Canelo with that high guard to walk him down and load up on them big hooks. I think Bud would be Canelo.
Speaking to IFL TV about Crawford's next move, Shakur Stevenson said, Terence Crawford is running things right now. Regarding who Crawford should fight next, Stevenson added, I would love to see him go up against Charlo. Although Charlo is already lined up to fight Canelo, I genuinely believe Crawford could beat Canelo. Being a southpaw with good movement and solid boxing skills, it would be tough for Canelo to walk Crawford down and land his powerful hooks. I wish Charlo wasn't fighting Canelo, but it is what it is. I think Bud could beat Canelo. I'd like to see it, because I don't believe size wins fights. I think skills do.
No, that smile's telling me something else, bro. I think it might be on the line, no?
Just saying, man, we can't say it's not gonna happen. We can't say that.
Saul Canelo Alvarez versus Terence Crawford is one of the biggest fights that could be made in boxing right now, and with Saudi Arabia's growing involvement in the sport, it seems more possible than ever. Crawford, the current unified welterweight champion, would need to move up several weight divisions to face Canelo, the reigning super middleweight champion. Following Canelo's win over Edgar Berlanga on September 14th, Bud and Turki Alalshik publicly called him out for a super fight. Canelo, come on, we are ready, said Alalshik. You heard it from him, Crawford added, backing the challenge. Canelo versus Crawford, the biggest fight in boxing. However, the major weight gap between the two has sparked debate within the boxing community, and even Mike Tyson has expressed concern over the size difference.
Who knows? That smile's telling me something else, bro. I think it might be on the line, no?
Just saying, man, we can't say it's not gonna happen. We can't say.
I don't like that fight, Tyson said on the Come and Talk to Me podcast on September 20th. Too much weight for Crawford. He had a close fight with the last guy he fought, Israel Madrimov, because he was big and really awkward. He shouldn't have even fought that guy. Tyson makes a valid point. Crawford faced one of the toughest challenges of his career against Madrimov, who was undefeated before their bout. Despite standing 5 feet 8 inches, which is taller than Canelo, Crawford has a wiry frame and would likely sacrifice mass and strength to compete in heavier divisions. Still, Crawford remains confident that he knows what's best for his body.
Terence Crawford calling out Canelo.
You know, I don't like that fight.
Why not?
I don't like that fight. It's just too much weight, you know, and
I think the key is to know when's the right time for your body to move up the healthy way, Crawford told Yahoo Sports before fighting Madrimov. I moved up in weight because I wanted to fight the best guy in the division. Nobody can outweigh the ambition of a professional fighter, and Crawford might soon get his chance to chase all-time greatness against Canelo. The weight disparity would only make a potential victory even more significant for his legacy.
He had a close fight with the last guy he fought, Terence, because this guy was big and he was awkward. He was really awkward. He shouldn't have fought that guy. He should have fought a guy that was just come straight at him. The guy was too awkward.
He's hurt and jerky.
Demetrius Andrade has also shared his thoughts on the potential 2025 super fight between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford, offering a candid assessment of the matchup. While praising Crawford's skills and acknowledging their shared history, Andrade pointed out the challenges Crawford would face in jumping up 2 weight classes to take on the super middleweight champion. I love Crawford, he's a good friend, but when it comes to weight and power, that stuff is real, Andrade told Fight Hub TV. Canelo is a big, bad wolf. I think Crawford has the skills, but when it comes to Saul taking shots and blocking power punches, Canelo knows how to move too.
I don't blame him not to fight David. Canelo, stay away from David. Don't do it. Let me get out of it one time. Don't do it. Listen, I'm taller and longer than Canelo.
Andrade believes Crawford can make the fight competitive, but he doubts Crawford can overcome Canelo's size, power, and agility. I don't think Crawford can beat Canelo, but I still think he can give him a good fight, and I'll be sitting there rooting for Canelo all day. That said, it appears Terence Crawford may not get the chance to end his career with a final showdown against Canelo Alvarez. Although there's no official confirmation yet, the buzz is undeniable. Just hours after rumors began circulating, Boxing Insider and ES News founder Elie Seckbach hinted that the fight could become the biggest event Las Vegas has ever seen. While details are still scarce, the anticipation is real. Fans are eager to see whether the fight will actually happen. In the meantime, we asked AI, specifically ChatGPT 4.0, to predict the outcome of this potential super fight, and here's what it had to say.
I don't know if Canelo can. That's a big boy, man. I don't care. The skills is, you gotta really have.
According to ChatGPT, the potential bout between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford is most likely to take place in late 2025, with September being the expected date. This timeline aligns with Canelo's tradition of fighting around Mexican Independence Day on September 16th and gives both fighters enough time to build anticipation and prepare, possibly including a tune-up fight before the showdown. The predicted venue for this monumental clash is Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas, given the scale of the event. The fight is expected to happen at 168 pounds, the super middleweight division, where Canelo currently reigns. Crawford, moving up from light middleweight, would be aiming to become undisputed in a third weight class. ChatGPT also noted that the bout will likely be promoted as a clash between 2 pound-for-pound greats. Crawford's dominance at 147 pounds and Canelo's control at super middleweight set the stage for a legacy-defining fight.
Skill set, movement, IQ, sharpness to beat David, unless David just fights the next biggest man in the 75.
The AI gave the first round to Bud Crawford. According to the model, Crawford begins cautiously, analyzing Canelo's timing and rhythm. Canelo pushes forward, landing heavy body shots, but Crawford's speed and footwork keep him competitive during the early exchanges. From rounds 5 to 8, the 37-year-old Crawford starts to settle into the fight, using his counterpunching to disrupt Canelo's rhythm. Meanwhile, Canelo continues to focus on the body, trying to slow Crawford's movement. Both fighters land significant shots in close exchanges, according to the AI. As the fight moves into rounds 9 through 12, it becomes increasingly tactical. The model noted that Crawford's adaptability and sharp combinations would allow him to land the cleaner punches, while Canelo's power and constant pressure would keep him a serious threat until the final bell. In the end, the AI surprisingly picked Terence Crawford to win over Canelo Alvarez, predicting a split decision victory with scorecards of 115 to 113, 115 to 113, and 113 to 115.
Story, but at 168, that's how you have to be to beat him. Canelo's smaller than me, and I was able to push David around a few rounds, do what I had to do, whatever. But that weight and his length, And he knows how to throw like punches and bunches.
Crawford's technical brilliance and adaptability allow him to overcome Canelo's power and pressure in a highly competitive and tactical bout, according to the model. Interestingly, the AI also predicted that Crawford might either defend his newly won titles at 168 pounds against rising contenders or retire as an undefeated legend. Despite the loss, the Guadalajara native would still be remembered as one of the greatest super middleweights of all time. Looking ahead, Canelo would likely pursue a rematch with Crawford, which would once again require Bud to add 14 pounds to reach the super middleweight limit. However, many observers believe that facing Alvarez could be a step too far for the Nebraska native, given the physical demands of the division.
Someone told me to study Canelo, study Crawford. Crawford about to beat the shit out of Canelo Alvarez. I'm letting y'all know right now, he about to beat the brakes off of Canelo Alvarez.
One person who strongly disagrees is two-weight world champion turned boxing analyst Tim Bradley. Speaking on his YouTube channel, Bradley shared that after closely studying both fighters, he now envisions a dominant win for Crawford. I woke up at 3 a.m., and something told me to study Canelo and Crawford. Crawford is about to beat the S out of Canelo Alvarez. I'm telling you, he's going to beat the brakes off him. A victory would mark a remarkable milestone for Crawford, who has already become undisputed champion at both super lightweight and welterweight.
Yes, he is. Number 2, Devin Haney. You want to get back, man, go back to your roots, bro. Go back to where you started, bro. Where'd you start? You started in Mexico, man. Go back, get one of those guys out of there.
While some see the press conference as a major step toward making the fight a reality, it still seems like nothing more than a dream. Matchroom boss Eddie Hearn, who has worked closely with Canelo Alvarez, recently shared details of his conversation with the Mexican star, and the outlook doesn't look good. During Crawford's clash with Israel Madrimov last year, His Excellency Turki Alalshik had also pushed for the fight and even asked Hearn to contact Canelo's camp to set it up. But the bout never came to fruition, and talk around the potential matchup has gradually faded.
Canelo versus Crawford negotiations, so-called behind the scenes. I want to talk about, 1, is Crawford ready for that fight? 2, how do you see that fight playing out? And 3, is this a reality?
Putting the final nail in the coffin, Eddie Hearn appeared in an interview with Fight Hype where he was questioned about the chances of the fight happening. "I'll be honest, I'd be very, very surprised if that fight happens," Hearn admitted. He noted that while His Excellency has been actively pushing for the bout, it didn't seem like something Canelo was genuinely interested in. Recalling a past conversation with Canelo, Hearn said the fighter's concern was that even if he beat Crawford, critics would downplay it by saying he only beat a 154-pounder. Hearn added that at this stage of his career, Canelo is looking to face opponents who press the action, something he doesn't believe Crawford would do.
I'd be very surprised if that fight happens. I think His Excellency has been pushing that fight. It didn't seem like it was something that Canelo was really up for, to be honest. And when I've spoken to Canelo before about that fight.
Notably, Crawford is moving up multiple weight classes for this potential clash, putting him at a clear disadvantage. Even if he reaches 165 pounds, Canelo would still be the naturally bigger man, meaning Crawford would have to rely heavily on his footwork and agility to have a chance at winning. Hearn echoed this sentiment in his conversation with Fight Hype, saying, "Crawford can't really come to fight in that fight because he's at a massive, massive size disadvantage." He wrapped up by reinforcing that view, casting further doubt on the matchup.
This kind of feeling is, when I beat Crawford, everyone's going to say I've beaten a 154-pounder. And he also, I think at his age as well, I don't think he wants to be fighting guys that are just moving all the time, and he wants people to come.
I don't think that fight will happen. Despite the bleak outlook, fans and analysts alike continue to share their takes on who would come out on top if it ever did. That's all for now. Stay tuned for the latest updates on boxing news, moments, events, and more by subscribing to our YouTube channel. And don't forget to turn on notifications so you never miss out on quality content like this. Until next time, peace out.